Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Washington Redskins and the Chicago Bears. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the #1 overall selection back in 05 out of the University of Utah. It's Alex Smith.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Leonard Floyd in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 8 yards on the run there, and that trims it to a 3rd and 11 coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Leonard Floyd in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. Yeah, that's a pretty good one for the old average. 68 yards on the punt there. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. First carry now for Jordan Howard. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they'll get him down up past the 15. The numbers there for Howard a week ago. 22 carries, 102 yards, and a touchdown.
Are we playing old school football now? We've got the top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line. Every time they go to the bench, you tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. This is Howard on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing here, Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, to have that dagger play, to have that play and just finish them off right now, because I think
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here.
Watch 80.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'm guarantee you, it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Space to run past the 20. And he'll go out of bounds down inside the 15-yard line. That good for 22 and a first down.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Jordan Howard, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Bears are in for 6. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Aaron Lynch in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out, you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming, pick them up, and someone jumped.
3rd and long, it's Smith. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's McCarthy. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's pulled in at the 32. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. Jordan Howard and the Bears offense making their way back out there. And you see the last drive, great chunk of yardage, the touchdown on 5 carries. And offensively, everything just looked in sync, didn't it?
It did, and the reason that it was in sync is because it's a combination of play calling, game plan, offensive line marrying up with all of their blocks. But don't forget the receivers out on the perimeter. Any type of a long run, the receivers have had a hand in that because they've occupied people downfield. And, of course, give the big credit to the man with the football. Great vision, good movement, gets to the end zone.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. He had the big touchdown run on the first drive and more room to maneuver right there.
And the big guys up front, they're feeling chesty and strong, creating nice openings for him.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Finding room to the 20 and down to the 16-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Right back to him on first down. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. The other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now. Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the seconds. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Jordan Howard as the first half is winding down. And the Bears will extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. So an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now Howard. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Bears will add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Now Hardy on the return. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out comes the Washington offense as we get a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Yeah, you're impressed.
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. Correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Now Thompson. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event,
pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Leonard Floyd in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it. Somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you stop the clock, and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock. This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Hey, gotta go, gotta go. 24's on the board.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up in the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the carry there at second and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, we're looking at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
Move, move.
Mike's by 4, Mike's by 4, Mike's by 4.
What do you hide?
Here we go, here we go.
Red's up.
Right there, 54, right there. 54, Mike.
And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Well, they held them out on 2nd down, and now here's 3rd and goal. Try to punch it in with Howard. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
There are certain drives in a game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
Watch 10, watch 10.
There you go, we got, you see it?
On 4th down, it's Howard. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because it certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Aaron Lynch in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. To throw on 2nd down is Smith. Crowder's got it over the middle. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keeping the pressure
From his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. Here's Tressway now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Taking it about the 36. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Bears take over. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Well, Charles, the forecast called